My name is Maggie and welcome to my YouTube channel. Yes, I chose to do lives not every day. When I have the time. Now that my son is sleeping, I thought I would give you a story that that changed actually my life forever. hmm So that was 2011 when I had just got my daughter. You know, the man I made a father did not have the permit to stay in Sweden, so he was forced to go back to Uganda. Yes, to get his permit. So he came back from Uganda. But here's the thing: around when Kia was around 7 months, I thought her dad is back to Sweden, and then I thought like I could speak Swedish. I thought I could speak Swedish. So actually, I want to go back and check the CVs that I sent in then and see what kind of language I used, which Swedish I used, because before we didn't have ChatGPT. So that means the Swedish that I had was from the Google, yeah. So it was like, was it good or not good? Anyway, I don't know, but I need to check that CV and I will bring it when I find it. So anywho, here it is. I was at home and I was like, it's time to start looking for jobs. And I sent in the CVs. Among them, because I was still a young girl, I was in my 20s, very vibrant, and the body was snatched and everything. Like after having a baby when you're in your 20s, best ever. So I chose to write a CV. Actually, I used what we call them job thing. It's Arbetsförmedlingen in Swedish. So at work, it's kind of, they help those who don't have jobs to write CVs and everything. So I sent in my CV. Let me tell you, in Sweden, when you don't have a job, you send over 200 CVs to different people. So this time around, the chance came. I sent it to McDonald's. Girl, who doesn't want to McDonald's when you're young? So I sent in my CV, and guess what? Luckily, they called me for an interview. Yes, I went on an interview. So Kia's dad had to be the babysitter. Time came to go to the interview. He was nowhere to be seen. What was the solution? To go to the interview or not to go? I dressed my baby girl. She was around 6 months. I dressed her. We went to McDonald's to do the interview. Guys, every time I think about that moment, I'm like, what a shame. Like, who does that? Like, really? Was I out of my mind to take a baby with me to a job interview? But later on, I was like, if this job was for me, they'll be like, she's a good mother. I think that's how I thought. So I go to the job interview. It was McDonald's in Slusen. I reached there, and who's giving the interview? Someone who's younger than me. Darling, a 21-year-old is not going to understand my situation, that I'm a mother and I have to come for the interview because I really, really need this job. Because that's what I wanted to show them, that yes, even if I have my baby, I can still pack my baby and come here and do the interview. So I sat there and I prayed. Guys, I'm a believer and I knew miracle was coming, but I knew come rain, come shine, I had to get this job because I was ready to work. By the way, then my Swedish was not either the best, yeah, but I have this kind of a thing. I believe in myself and I know that if I do something, I would get it. I'll get there. So hi everyone who's joining. Where are you joining from? Do you have any story about the job interview, the most weird job interview I've been on? Actually, I'll tell you 2 stories. I'm going to tell you this one where they told me where I went with the child, and I'll tell you one when I had just graduated as a nurse, or I had graduated as a nurse, and the questions I found that were kind of racist. I will tell you the story as well. So hold on and you hear the racist part of it, that even though I'm educated, even though I'm educated, I still find it hard sometimes to find jobs. So it was my time to go and do the interview. I'm very sure there were so many people who are waiting on the interview, because when people send in their CVs, it has to look unique to be called for the interview. People who have sent in 5-6 CVs and you're not called to do the interview and be like, they don't like me, they don't. Honey, you have to send in more than 200 to get a job, to get a chance to do an interview. And then there is a job where I went as a salesperson. Bitch, you don't even know the Swedish language. What are you going to sell? Now tell us, what are you going to sell? Poverty can make you do anything. Let me tell you, I sent in CVs everywhere. Anyway, I go in for the interview. The girl was younger and she looked at me and she was like, oh, yeah, tell us about yourself, your last experience, and why you're here. I talked to her. I thought I'm talking to someone who will understand me. Mama. Get on late. Okay. Someone, my son is awake, so I'm going to leave the live, but I'll give you just a quick one. So when I sat there, she told me to talk about myself, why I asked the job, and finally she asked me, why are you with your baby? And then I tell her the story that the person who was supposed to help me carry the baby did not come, so I chose to come instead of her, beautiful Zoe. I decided instead to come with my baby. Well, she said, we're going to get back to you. Thank you for applying. Thank you for coming. It was nice meeting you. I was so excited. The way she spoke, it felt like this is my job. This is my time to shine. I'm a living testimony. Guys, I was not a living testimony. That time God said, Maggie, this is not your time to shine. Don't. So I did not give up actually. When they didn't give me the job, I still kept on applying for McDonald's. But one thing I suspect that when I did the interview, they wrote that I came with a baby. So no matter how much I tried to come in McDonald's, I never came in again. I never got a chance to come in again. But I know I did my best as a mother to take my baby with me. And actually, I'm very proud of myself that at least I chose to, instead of leaving my child just like that, I chose to go with my baby. You know? Yes. I failed. I did not get the interview. Then there is an interview which was a salesperson. It was in Swedish. So these people we are looking for, do you know when they sell telephones, people who call others and be like, yeah, we're selling the phone. They knew this is coming. They knew what. Remember, by then I didn't know even how to speak Swedish. You guys, what I know in my life, I don't give failure a chance. I try, but I fail, but I don't fail to try. I try and fail, but I don't fail to try. That's how I'm doing my thing. So they called me for an interview. So I was like, what am I going to speak there? You know, I came here in Sweden when I had just finished my senior. Honey, Emir, Lila, Clay. Yes, Clay. But Mulekawa, gonna. Hi, baby. So, what I did, I went for the interview. As I went for the interview, they tell me, talk about yourself, the past experience. Remember, I never worked. Guys, I lied. I lied. I told them, as I was younger, I started my own business. That I did not lie, because after my senior six, I started up a small business. But of course, in Uganda, it had to go to work here. So I told them, I can do this, I can do this. I think my Swedish was really broken. And they'd be like, what are you going to sell? Like, truly, what are you going to sell to people when you can't even speak the language? I did not get the job either. Another job as a nurse, I went for an interview here in Karolinska in Sweden, you could dig it. So I went for an interview, and this lady, she asked, this was not long ago, by the way. That was 2023. She asked me, are you Swedish? Do you have a Swedish citizenship? Are you born in Sweden? And what she told me was like, to be able to work within this kind of hospital in Sweden, you have to have a Swedish citizenship. Guys, I died. Yes, I know in Sweden you can come and study here and you do what you do as a nurse, as you study, and you don't have the citizenship. Hi, beautiful souls. How are you doing, honey? How are you? I'm giving these stories because you shouldn't give up. So when she asked me all those, like all that, I'm like, of course I'm black, but at least I know I have the Swedish citizenship. But that's not the criteria to work as a nurse in Sweden. I was so angry. I was so angry because someone, how can you ask me if I'm Swedish? If there is a lot she said that made me question my integrity. I was like, wow, did she just say that? And the thing in Sweden, because then I have to contact the racism team and everything. But they'll be like, oh, she just wanted to know. And the thing is, I started here in Sweden. I started the university that is on the same hospital. So in my CV, it shows exactly where I started. And when I put in my degree, because here sometimes you have to put in the degree that to show that you graduated, yeah? I put in my degree and everything. It's called BVS. I put it in there, but I think she did not see it. She did not read anything, or what she wanted. But the thing is, there were two parts. It was two words, and they were both together. Both were working with the heart and everything. So the other one was day, and the other one was evening. It was 24 hours. So both of them wanted me to work. Despite this one thought I did not qualify because to her, you have to be Swedish citizen, you must have this other Sweden, whatever it was. But she wanted me to work there. And actually, I said, no, thank you. I said, no, thank you. You don't know how proud I am to stand here as a black girl to say no, thank you to your job. That's the value of studying in Sweden. When you don't study, they treat you like shit. Because I remember losing my job as assistant. Actually, I used to work with the disabled people. This is stories for another time. Let me take care of my son, who is 1 year. And guys, I love you and leave you. My stories are never ending. I'll tell you a story next episode. How I lost my job after my sister died. I went to bury my sister and I came back when my job is no more. Actually, one of the reasons why I went back to study in Sweden. Yes, you cannot say you have called Pohonom Nanga Thomas. That's very dangerous. Young. So guys, okay, baby. Guys, my baby loves the camera so much, but I have to hide him from the camera. Yes, I'll bring you a story how I lost my job because I went to bury my sister. One of the reasons why I went back to school actually to study nursing. And I'm loving this job because education is the key. Guys, stay blessed. I love you and leave you. Bye. Can do vinka hey do Leon? Say hey do. Vinka hey do. Bye. Say bye bye. Bye everybody. Say bye everybody. Esh. Say bye everybody. Those who are new here, please don't forget to subscribe, leave a comment and a heart, and watch the videos. And please tell me what kind of stories you want to hear, because I have a lot of stories. I have both the life and professional, a lot of stories to tell. If you want stories, tell me what you want to hear, and I'll just open. Yesterday we talked about the death of patients that I was involved, but guys, I'll tell you a story where I gave a child wrong medicine. That's very disgusting, but we learn from our mistakes. Stress is very bad within medics, so we learn from our mistakes, and I will never from that thing. I learned. I'm very careful after that. So have a blessed and wonderful day. Bye.